It's actually very dangerous for you to share every personal aspects of your life to the public. Welcome, I'm your host, and you're listening to Elevate with Noe, your new favorite and go-to podcast. It's about time you tuned in. Come on this journey with me, and let's get it. Hey ladies, welcome back to another episode. So yeah, girl, thank you for tuning in again, as usual. And if you're new, you know what to do. If you like all things about leveling up, self-improvement, you like to have a deeper conversation and become the greatest person that you can ever be, you need to join, subscribe on YouTube, and follow the podcast on Spotify and Apple, okay? You're not going to regret this because I genuinely love to talk about so many different topics that can make us grow and learn different things about ourselves. Even at work, when I was on a break, trying to script through what I wanted to say, what type of subject I want to dive in with my audience. And as the new audience, new people is going to come through and join the community, I want to give that energy, but I also want to be very truthful and honest that I'm actually not having a good day today. And I'm not going to get into the details as to why, because that's not the reason why you clicked on the episode, girl. However, what I want to talk about today is about privacy and how privacy is sexy. Because let's just be honest, we live in a world now where it feels like every single time we're going out with our girls, we're going out with the ladies, well, we have to snap those pictures, right? We have to take everything in videos, take some nice poses, looking beautiful, all dressed up. But then all the time, let me take a picture here so I can post it on my Instagram. Take me a picture right there so I can put it on my IG page. Can you imagine right now? It feels like every little snap, every little picture that we need to snap, it has to be for social media. And it's so crazy how everything has shifted. You know, before it was just enjoying the time, taking a picture here and there, but to ourselves. Sometimes it was mostly pictures and videos that we just show to our family members and friends when we see them. But now it feels like take me a picture, take me a video so I can post it. Why do we feel the need to always show it in, show it out every 2 seconds? Why do we feel the need to always show off? Is it for us to feel seen? For us to feel like we got something going on? To show the world that we have an exciting life? Well, sometimes we can have a day that is very boring and very normal, and that's okay. But the thing that I want to really dive in with you today is the fact that people tend to overshare so much to the public, to the point that what is privacy? Do we have such thing as privacy nowadays? It feels like we have to share every little details about our life to the world. People have to know what you do for a living, where you live, what company you work at. People are showing out their significant other, doing couple vlogs, couples, YouTube channels, telling about how many houses do you own, how many businesses do you have, showing off your kids and things like that for the people who are into social media and their niche is mostly about family stuff or kids and things like that. But I'm gonna tell you something. It's actually very dangerous for you to share every personal aspects of your life to the public. I'm not telling you to stop. If you like doing those things, or this is your brand, it's your business or whatever, I understand. But it has nothing to do with your brand and business. Please do reconsider, because what people don't know can hurt. When you're showing out everything that you own, you're showing your significant other, people know who is your life partner. They know where you live. They know your kids, how they look like, how many kids you have. You're exposing yourself to more danger. And again, you might tell me, hey, no, isn't there danger everywhere? There's literally danger everywhere, girl. I could be crossing down the street and someone hit me with their car. I get it. However, you have to think the internet era was not always the way that it is right now. With social media, even when back in the days when internet was a thing, people were not showing out every aspect or sharing every single aspect of their life to the world, because the public, you don't know who are these people. Some of them could be people who actually want to see you do well, who are genuinely happy for you, but there's trolls out there. You really need to look out for those. You need to really be careful what you want to share to the world. For example, how many assets you have, the amount of houses or apartments that you own. People can tend to get jealous. And you might think, girl, it's not our problem. They can get jealous all they want. Yes, but I'm just telling you, sometimes when people know too much about it, it can turn against you. Okay? For example, my mom, who was with a group of nurses, and at some point, she shared an information about her life, and it slipped off. Okay, my mom is not someone who overshares things about her personal life. She keeps her stuff very private, but it was very basic and very corny. She just mentioned what my dad does for a living, and automatically the ladies in the room assume certain things. So at some point, when they had a meeting with their manager, they had to cut people off temporarily, very shortly. So that means that you will have less shift offered to you. And literally, there's a colleague who mentioned in front of everyone, oh, my mom can be put to the side because her husband does so and so. And see, this is so corny. It's not even an information that my mom willingly wanted to share. It just slipped off, okay? And even that turned against her at that time. And she needed that shit. She needed to make money. And because of that information, people assume certain things, and you can be sure that at a certain point, when the occasion presents itself, that information can turn against you. And this is just a pure example. It's so basic. It's not even about how many houses you own. It's not even about how many cars you own. It's just about what my dad does for a living. And that was enough to turn against her. So I'm just saying, you really need to be careful. And when it comes to your kids, I'm going to tell you something. Your kids are precious. They are our next generation. We need to protect them. We really do need to protect our kids, especially if you have ones or if you plan on having kids in the future. And you have to understand, there's a lot of pedophiles. There's a lot of bad people all around the world. I feel like a lot of people tend to forget that. They can use your kid's face for things that are very nasty. And you don't want this to happen to your kids. So you should be very careful. Hide your kid's face. You want to show that you're a mom? Okay, we don't need to see your kid's face. Hide it, protect it. And you just have to be conscious of what you're sharing to the world, that it can really turn against you. And even when you're being private, bad things can happen to you. So imagine when you are opening the door to so many people that you don't even know. You get what I mean? And also, one thing that is so important is how much assets that you own. People don't need to know that unless you have business. Let's say you have a business, you're selling shoes. Okay, I get it. People need to know that you're selling shoes in order for you to make money. That makes so much sense, right? But does people need to know exactly how much you pay yourself? Do people really need to know that you own 3 cars, that you have 3 apartments, or that you own 2 pensions? No, they don't need to. And it's really to protect yourself. Privacy is sexy. And also, it's for yourself as well. Don't you want to keep certain things to yourself? When everyone knows every single little detail about you, it's like you're an open book. It just kills the mystery of getting to know you. It kills a little bit the thrill of getting to know you when everyone knows so much about you. It's like they don't even bother asking you anymore. They are not curious about you because everyone knows. Everyone knows. I think that when you overshare in public, it kills the mystery. It kills the thrill of getting to know you as a person. And really, privacy is to protect yourself. Not everyone needs to know about your personal business. I get it that there's certain things that need to be talked about, but other things it's okay to keep private. For example, my sister who works at a camp, she told me she knows literally everyone's business. simply because people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. They have to tell every single little detail about their life, who they slept with, who they mess around with. Why do we need to know that? Like, I think it's important to remember that not everything needs to be shared. Not everything needs to be shared about your life. Keep certain things to yourself. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? Why do we feel like we need to share every single thing? Things about your asset, money, kids, life partner. Hey, when it comes to life partners, let me tell you something. When I see couples, healthy couples, I look at it, I'm all like, oh my God, this is so cute. It's so beautiful. I can't wait for this to happen to me one day. But the thing is, not everyone's gonna think like that. Some people are gonna be so jealous and envious of your love with your partner, they're gonna project that. And there has been horror stories about that. I've seen people losing their significant other because they shared every little thing. I think there's this girl, I think I saw it somewhere on social media. Actually, when it comes to significant other, there's this woman on social media who used to cook for her husband all the time. She loves to cook, but she really cooks from start to finish. Like, she's not gonna get any type of ingredients that are already made at the grocery store. And her husband, he's handsome, he's the provider and all that good stuff. Okay, they are married, have kids, beautiful. But because she's showing out her husband and she's living the life, right? She's being treated like a princess. Women envy that. They want those type of things. They want to manifest it, but sometimes the manifestation of the way they want to get it is through you. It's literally to snatch the things that you have so they can get it, instead of just seeing it as an inspiration and be like, ooh, that love that she has, I want that also for myself. I can't wait to manifest that, script it, and give it to the universe to give you your husband. No, they want to snatch yours, okay? So you have to be careful. And even she stopped posting her man. Why? Because of that. Because women now were coming up and wanted to be his side chick, his side piece, or whatever, even though they knew that he was married to this woman. You get what I mean? You don't know what type of evil people you can attract because of that. It's purely and only for your protection and your peace of mind. You have a good thing, you have a great partner, protect it. Protect it, especially when it comes to relationship. Listen, ladies, anything that has to do with spiritual, physical, financial, people get from 0 to 100 real quick. They get the tools, they work on it, they become consistent, and they make it. But when it comes to relationships, it's the category that's the most failed amongst human. Why? Because us humans, we're so complex. We're so complex. Till this day, we're still trying to understand each other. Trying to understand men, the relationship between men and women, your relationship that you have with your parents, the relationship you have with your coworkers or business partners, the relationship you have with your siblings. It's so different. Human beings are so complex. And when it comes to love, there's so many people who have not experienced real love. A lot of them has not experienced real love. They have experienced toxic love or codependency, anything that they think is love, but it really isn't, okay? So that means that people are seeking for that. They want that. So whenever you're showing that to them, you're showing it to their face, it can either trigger two types. It can either trigger the person's gonna be so amazed by your couple and wishing you the best, and then they're gonna try to manifest that for themselves. And then there's the other person who's gonna be super envious and jealous. And don't get me wrong, being envious and jealous are emotions that are normal, just like any type of emotions. They're just low vibration emotion. And you know, it's all part of the emotions sphere. We're all human, okay? It can happen. But the part where it becomes really toxic is when it becomes an obsession, and instead of trying to manifest this for yourself, like having your own husband, having a romantic, healthy relationship, you're trying to snatch it from someone else. You're trying to take that away from someone else so they can no longer have it, and you're the one having what they used to have. This is different. This is really bad, and the attention is very negative. Being envious and jealous, who hasn't been? It's very rare that I'm envious or jealous, but it can happen. It happens from time to time. It's very rare. But women, they can get jealous and very envious. The thing is, you have to time it. You feel the emotion, okay, I want what she has, and you regulate. You regulate, and then that's it. It happened to me being envious. Jealous, not so much, to be honest. It's very rare that I'm being jealous of someone else, simply because I believe that we're in an environment and in a world where you can have access to so many things. However, being envious is wanting to have certain things. Let's say you're seeing this girl with a Lambo. Hey, I want a Lambo too. I want that. Yes, I want to have what you have, but I'm not trying to snatch it from you. I want to get it and manifest it for myself. You get what I mean? This is different, and it's not in a toxic way. But you go through your emotion, and after that, you move on. And there's high vibration emotion and low vibration emotions, and these ones are the very low. So when you sit there, it's go downhill, okay? And this is why it's so important for you to be careful what you are showing to the world. What you are showing to the world, whether it's on social media or in real life. Do you know why there's so much toxicity in the world, and why people are wondering, oh, how come I don't see happy couples, or how come I don't see happy families, or people who are just generally happy with their life? It's because they're too busy being happy with their life, too busy spending time and enjoying their significant other's presence, instead of having to share to the world every single little things that are going well in their lives. You get what I mean? They understand privacy. They understand it. And I can promise you, the women who are kept, women who are living that high life, that peaceful life, I can assure you that they're private about their life. You don't know all the details about their life. You haven't seen their kids. There's something mysterious about them. And then not in a sketchy way, but you don't know everything about their life. And it's good that way. So I know it's a short episode, but I really want you to share with me what you think. Do you feel like privacy is a bad thing? What do you consider something that you will absolutely keep private without a doubt? Or what are some things that I mentioned that you feel like it's not that much of a big deal to share it, whether it's verbally to someone or showing it on social media? I'm actually really curious, because this episode didn't have so much specific structure to it. It was just conversation, but I really need to put it out. Privacy and oversharing or sharing things to the public. Listen, when you keep it private, who's gonna turn these type of information against you? Nobody else knows it but you. Well, when you're going public, you're increasing the chance of things going south because you decided to show it. And you don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow. So I just want you to be mindful. Again, not telling you what to do, just raising awareness and things that I've noticed personally. And me, when it comes to assets, money, anything that has to do with my private life, sex, love, these are the things that I like to keep private. Okay? These are certain things that I'm not gonna be sharing on social media. You're not gonna see me who I'm dating. You're not gonna see me who I'm in a relationship with. You're probably gonna end up finding out that I'm married, but you're not gonna see with who. You're probably never gonna know who is that person. You're probably never gonna see the face of my kid either on social media. And when it comes to, if we step out of social media and just people in general, the public, no, I don't share about everything that goes on in my life. And I don't think it's nobody's business. There's beauty in privacy. Remember, privacy is sexy. Okay, so I'm gonna leave you on that. And please, if you like those type of content, because ladies, I'm not done. There's so many things I want to share with you, and I really want to start introducing guests and having people in the podcast, not just me talking to you. But seriously, I also want to practice more with myself and feel more comfortable talking to you one-on-one, because girl, I have to improve with that to feel comfortable when I'm gonna have guests, you know? So yeah, so don't forget to follow the podcast on social media, and also don't forget to follow on audio platforms and to subscribe and like if you're watching on YouTube. All right. So that's it for today's episode. I'll see you on the next one. Bye. Like anything in life, everything comes to an end. Yeah, girl. This concludes today's episode. Again, thank you so much for listening. And remember, you got this. See you on the next one. Bye.